This program is brought to you in part by Swift Canoe and Kayak. People who know paddle swift. And by Eureka, the spirit of adventure.
The outdoors, fresh air, sun, water, wind, rain, and snow. A chance to reconnect with nature. In this series, we explore some of the places and activities that you can enjoy in the outdoors, and all within a couple of hours of home. So join us as we get outside and recharge our soul. Winter is a season that a lot of people think you don't go outside in, but winter is one of the most amazing times of the year to get outside. But we are out winter camping. This is something I do a lot of, but I'm here with my friend Peter, who has never done winter camping before. We're gonna get our stuff loaded and we're gonna hike on in.
So my name is Peter, and we're just out here winter camping. It's my first time. I've camped other times of the season, but this is the first time that I was certainly convinced a little bit to try this, and I was certainly up for giving it a try.
There's a variety of places that you can go winter camping. In Ontario, you can go to some provincial parks. Algonquin Provincial Park has winter camping. Kawartha Highlands, there's a few others where you can winter camp. You can winter camp on Crown land, or if you know somebody that has a big chunk of private land, which is what we are doing, we are camping on some private land as well. So anywhere where you can get outside, it doesn't have to be out in the forest, but that's what I love. So we are out here hiking in the forest and camping.
So snowshoeing, that was a new experience for me as well. Very, very easy, really. You know, once you put them on, you just kind of walk. I kind of felt a little bit like a duck, but certainly a very effective way of getting around.
When you're winter camping, you're often bringing a lot more gear than you would if you're just hiking in the summer. So it generally is not going to fit into one backpack. So what we used was some sleds, so we can fit a lot more gear in there. We can have a lot warmer gear with us. So we basically just pull the sleds in behind us with all our gear. We hiked in probably about half a kilometer to where we decided we were going to camp. Found a nice open spot. So I think this looks like a pretty good spot to set up. We've got nice clear spots where we can set our tents, and yeah, so this will be our home for the night.
Perfect.
So let's unload and we'll get everything all set up.
Good.
All right,
Let's get to it.
Let's go.
At that point, we're unloaded, and we started to set up the site.
Peter's in a 4-season tent, which is actually made for being outside in the winter. It's sturdier construction. It's more pointy, so if there's snow overnight, the snow won't crush the tent. I'm sleeping in just a regular 3-season tent, which for the most part is fine. If we were expecting a lot of snow, I would have put a tarp over top to make sure any snow would have shed off, but I was fine with it as it was.
As everything was set up, then we started gathering firewood.
One thing you're going to really need a lot of when you're camping in the winter is firewood. You're going to go through a lot of firewood just keeping warm. Plus it gets dark a lot earlier, so you're going to need to be having that fire burning for longer. So we went out and we gathered a lot of firewood. We were looking for dead standing trees. Any tree that's dead and still standing and not in the snow is going to be good. You can tell because if you pull on a branch, it's going to snap right off. If it's living, it's not going to break off. So you don't want to burn living trees anyways. They just don't burn. So you want dead standing wood. Snow on the head.
Because why not?
Watch out for holes in the ground. That's a good piece of birch bark. Yeah, birch wood. Sweat.
Finding firewood wasn't thankfully too difficult. There was a fair bit of deadfall and some dry branches that we were able to break off, and we chopped down some of the bigger pieces with the axe, loaded up the sled, took it back to camp, and broke down the smaller pieces, chopped up the larger pieces, got it all ready, and then we got the fire started.
We are just clearing a spot for a campfire, digging it down to the ground so that so obviously when you light a fire it's going to melt down through the snow otherwise. So we'll start it on the ground in a hole. Good chance the hole is going to get bigger as it melts, but it's a good place to start.
That's not an easy one.
When you're building a fire in the winter, you got to make sure your wood is really, really dry. It's cold, so it's hard to get a fire going anyways, and a lot of your wood may be in the snow, so it's going to be damp. So you're going to need something that's really good to get the fire going. I've got some fire starters. These are wax and basically sawdust. They work really well. And I've got some just basic sort of pressed sawdust pieces as well. They work good as well, so we're going to get a fire going no matter what. You can also use some other things. I've used in the past things like corn chips or nacho chips. There's a lot of oil in those. They're great for getting the fire started, or just dump some in the fire and it will keep it going long enough for the wood to dry out and catch.
How many times do you forget to pull this out?
food, you got to bring stuff that's not going to freeze solid. That's the thing. When you're out here, it's going to be cold, so your food is going to get really cold. If you've got stuff that's got a lot of moisture in, it's going to freeze, and then you're going to have to thaw it before you cook it. We brought some pretty basic food. I brought some pre-cooked chicken burgers, cooked them over the fire for dinner. Peter brought some hot dogs, easy stuff to cook over the fire. Of course, you can have stuff that you can boil water for. We boiled water, had hot chocolate, had coffee, something that's nice and warm.
We have been given a task to find a tree so we can throw this over and attach our food to it, a food bag, and then we're gonna drag that up and tie it down, and then that's the way we're gonna store our food overnight. I think we got it.
With clothing, it's important that you have lots of different layers. You want to start with a nice base layer, a good t-shirt, then put on another layer. I've got a fleece jacket. I've got a jacket like this, which is sort of a slightly warmer, puffy jacket. And then for when it gets really cold, I've got a big winter parka. So I can combine those in any situation to help keep me warm. It looks like it's going to be a nice, beautiful night. Maybe we'll have some stars and a nice sunset, but this is winter camping. It is amazing.